So I'm going to go through downloading and using Clustal Omega. So you get it from clustal.org/Omega, and there's all these different versions. Now, if you are using a Linux system or a system which has a compiler, so a Unix system, you can get the source code and actually make the program yourself. If you're not sure about compilation, or if you're working on Windows or Macs, then you need to get the Windows or Mac version. So I'm going to get the Windows version, so it comes as a zip file. So if I now go to my downloads folder, here is the zipped file that it's downloaded, and I can extract it using an unzip program. I happen to have 7-zip, you might have your own different program, and that will extract a folder called Clustal Omega 1.2.2-Win64 for this particular version. The versions will change. Now, if I go into that folder and I click on Clustal O, I don't see anything happening. Nothing seems to happen at all. Now, that's because the program is run at the command line. Now, there are several ways of running a command line in Windows, but I would suggest running the Windows PowerShell. I'm not completely convinced about the differences between any of these, so I'll just use the most basic one, which is the Windows PowerShell, like this. So when the Windows PowerShell starts, it will start in a particular directory. So in this case, it's starting in C user, my username. Yours will start in whatever your home user directory is. Now, I actually need to go to downloads, which on this computer is on the D drive. It won't be on yours, it should be on the C drive. But I've got an extra drive just created for downloads. So if I now go into the downloads folder, and you can type ls to list what's in the folder if you're using PowerShell. If you're using the terminal, then you can only type dir. Okay, so looking at this, you can see there's the Clustal Omega executable. Now I'm going to go into the Neuraminidase evolution folder because it contains some sequences to practice on. So I'll go to CD Neuraminidase evolution. So I can list the folders that are in there. So the folder, the sequences that I want to align are in a file called Neuraminidase evolution.faster. And I want to run Clustal Omega to do this. Now, Clustal Omega is not in this directory. Clustal Omega is up one directory. So if I go cd ... and then I do list, there's Clustal Omega. Now, when I'm in the Neuraminidase one folder, to run it, I need to type ... / then the name of the folder which contains it, which is Clustal Omega 1.2.2-Win64 in this particular case, and then the name of the actual program itself, which is clustalomega.exe. That will run Clustal Omega on its own. I'm going to type -- help, so this shows you how Clustal Omega works. So Clustal Omega works basically using all of these command line arguments. So it says you use it by typing clustal_o.x and then minus all these other things. So you can have -i, which is your input file, and then there's all these other settings you can have for how you want to do the output, how you want to do, what methods you want to use, how much memory you want to use. There's lots of different things you can set. But the basic use is -i input file, -o output file. You can have the output file in faster format, which is what I want, Clustal format, Violet format, and various others. So let's run that command again, using up key to go back through the history of things that I've done. So -in or -I will do the name of the input file, which is the neuraminidase evolution.faster, -out the name of the aligned sequences. So I'm just going to call this aligned.faster. What's it saying? Unexpected argument aligned.faster. Oh, it should be minus. It should be 2 minuses. Oh dear. So it's minus in, and then it's minus out. Great. It's minus I and minus for out. Because I've got a file there already, because when I did my failed runs, it had written something already. To overwrite it, I need to say minus false. Right, it's now done the alignment. You didn't see anything happening. If you typed -v, it's for verbose, and I'll show you what's happening. So, and then it shows you it's done progressive alignment, and it took that many seconds and it finished. Now if I look at the aligned, the file which is called aligned.faster, that is the aligned set of sequences. So that is the basic use of Clustal Omega for doing an alignment.